So, Shadow of the Erd Tree is rumored to be coming out around, February, around, coming soon. So, I thought, what better way to prepare for the DLC than to go back and to look at the worst bosses in Elden Ring, just to show FromSoft what not to do with their DLC, you know what I mean? And I'm not ranking them in any particular way, although you will be able to tell which bosses I hate more the more we go on, because, the more heated I get and whatnot. But anyway, another thing before we get into this, since this is FromSoft and this is Dark Souls related, this list right here is my opinion. Your list might be different from my list. Your worst boss list might be my best boss list, and vice versa, okay? So please don't flame me too hard. You can't, of course, you can disagree with my opinion all you want. Go ahead and just drop that in the comments below. But anyway, with all that out of the way, let's just go ahead and jump straight into this list. Oh, and one more thing, the rule for this one, since there's so many there's like 130 bosses in this game, and literally fucking 95% of them are shit. So because of that, I'm only going to be doing bosses with achievements attached to them, just to make this a bit easier and to even the playing field a bit better, you know what I mean? But anyway, enough yapping, let's just get straight into this, shall we? The Lich Dragon for, I don't know how to say that word. I don't know, but this boss isn't necessarily a bad boss, but he is, in my opinion, quite boring. I mean, he has flashy moves, but that's all they're really good for. They don't really do any damage. And usually by the time you find this boss, you're already past like several other bosses. So I think this boss is mainly like a mid-game boss, but everyone I've discovered him late game, like post fucking Melina, post Godfrey. I found him then. But, which is probably what made it easy for me to fight him. So possibly if you don't fight those two before going and fighting this dragon, this could be a difficult boss for you. So there is that, of course. I will give him this, though. He is probably the most badass on this entire list. That's why I think he is the best of the worst. Because his fucking double fisting lightning fork thingy, that move is badass, dude. It's so fucking cool. Okay? Like, he's fun, like he looks cool, and I'm sure the lore of him is amazing, but he himself doesn't really bring much to the table. You know what I mean? It's really simple to beat this boss, especially because it's a dragon. You just go underneath him and you can just basically fucking keep hitting his shins and or his fucking hand and you win the game. You know what I mean? So again, it's not that he's a shit boss, it's just I wish they did more with him, especially since this is a secret boss, kind of like Dragon Lord and Melina, and those two are extraordinary boss fights. But he being a secret, I'm assuming he's a secret fucking boss. You have to go out of your way to do a fucking quest line for him. But anyway, and his name is pretty fucking cool, Lich Dragon. I mean, like, again, that's all I have to say about this boss. I just wish he was harder. I wish he had like more moves than he already does. It's just, that's all I want from him. He's still a fucking cool boss. Don't get me wrong. On to the next one. Renala, Queen of the Full Moon. She's the same as Lich Dragon, boring. However, I will give this to her. She is needed to get the Age of the Stars ending, which is my personal favorite ending. So I will give her that. And also when you beat her, you can use larva tears to respec your character. Basically, just bring it all down to level 1, but you get all the runes and shit back, so you can like respec into whatever you want, like intelligence, or you can respec into deck. You know what I mean? Beyond those two things, she's a boring boss. I mean, in the first phase, you don't even fight her. You fight her fucking minions. And I mean, I don't know, that feels kind of lazy to me. That's just me spitballing here. I feel like it's a bit lazy. Although I know that she is an early game boss. You fight her early game, right? Like, you usually fight her after you fight Godric the Grafted. That's what I did anyway. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it, but that's how I fucking did it. But anyway, I understand she's an early game boss. However, that doesn't mean that she has to be boring. Like, Morgott, right? I think that's how you say his name. Morgott, he's the first boss you fight, and he's so much fun. It was perfection. So why does the third boss after Godric, the boss after Godric, why is it so slow? It's just, I don't know, man. I actually don't know what will make this boss any better, because in reality, all she is a wizard. That's all she is, right? A sorcerer. That's all she is. So really, this boss couldn't get any better than it actually is. But Just because she's on my worst list, it's like with Lich Dragon, it doesn't mean that she's a fucking horrid boss. I just find her boring, personally. That's just all there is to it. You know what I mean? And also in the second phase, she does spawn enemies. However, if you have a bleed build, that you could take her out very fucking quickly, and you just don't attack the summon enemies, they go away after a while, which I fucking love. Bosses that spawn enemies and ones that don't go away after a while are fucking annoying. Kind of like our next entry on this list. Commander Nile. Now, you, those who have played this game and bought this guy knew this would be on here. They fucking knew it would be. Now, I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly, Commander Nile. I don't even want to give him the fucking respect of finding out that's how you say his name. But anyway, past this point, like this threshold right here is where we get into dog shit territory. This is the ones that I truly think are fucking terrible, okay? So, what is wrong about this boss? Well, number one, his attack pattern, he has like 3 fucking moves, and they all can be baited and punished heavily after he does them. He does a shit ton of damage. He spawns enemies that don't go away. The enemies themselves are fucking annoying to deal with unless you have Ashes of War, or not Ashes of War, unless you have spirits or how those bell thingies, but you know, the summons. He's fucking annoying, okay? And I wouldn't have hated it as much if he wasn't so fucking predictable every single time I fought him. That is the biggest crime of this boss, is that he has, I'm not even fucking kidding you, 3 moves, right? Watch the footage. He has 3 moves. They can all be countered, or not countered, they all can be dodged, and like after one set of his moves, you get it down instantly. It's easy fucking pickings after the fight. The only thing that's bad about this boss is the beginning part with the fucking double dudes. And even then, you can just summon fucking people for that. I didn't do that, so it was it was a lot of fun to fucking do that. Go into Commander Nile and cheese it. I don't care what the fuck you have to do. Use summons, bleed, anything. Literally do everything in the handbook to get past this fucking boss so you can get the fucking medallion. And the fact that you need to beat this boss to get to Melina is a fucking crime, bro. Is a fucking crime. However, he is optional, right? He is optional. However, we don't get that luxury with the next entry on this list. God Skin Duo. Yeah, you knew their fat and skinny asses would be on this list. I don't think I've ever seen anybody defend this boss, and for good reason, right? They are fucking terrible. I think it's not a stretch to say they are the worst boss with an achievement attached to it. What's wrong with this boss, you're saying to yourself? Well, 1, you've never played the game before, clearly, and 2, they're like Ornstein and Smog without any of the fucking charm. It's quite clear to me that they try to cash in on nostalgia and failed fucking miserably. Or they try to recreate the Four Kings, which was mainly, the Four Kings was mainly a DPS check in Dark Souls 1, considering that they can respawn 1 times each, which makes 4 Godskin duos, right? So like if you kill one, it can respawn again. You kill the other one, it can respawn again. And then by the time they usually do that, they're already fucking dead. You know what I mean? So really, it's 4 Godskin duos that you're finding, which is fucking fun beyond belief. Yay! Even if that is the case, that they try to recreate the fucking Four Kings fight, I still think that's stupid, because you can't go back to the main part of the game. You are stuck in that part of the game. You are stuck there. Wait, I'm a fucking Howard. I just realized you can get out of there. Wait, can you? I don't know. Okay, honestly, I forgot if you can or can't. If you can get out, then this boss is a little bit worse, but it's still not good. But if you can't, this is probably the worst boss in the game. Either way, it's a shit fuck boss, okay? Another thing, everyone in this game, everyone in the community is in agreement. And I do mean everyone including the fucking try-hard veteran Dark Soul players that are like, if you don't play this game with your dick in your hand and the other one like wrapped around your arm, like wrapped around your back, and then fucking playing with your eyeballs or some shit, you know what I mean? Those kind of fucking players that will shit on you for doing anything other than what they did, you know what I mean? Those shit players. But anyway, everybody is in agreement to do whatever it takes to beat this fucking boss. Cheese it, sleeping pots, bleed weapons, do literally fucking anything to get past this boss. He doesn't even reward you with anything good. They give you a fucking bell to give to the fucking twin maidens, right? And that's literally about fucking it. That's all you really like get. That's it. I don't think that's really worth fighting fucking 4 godskin duos. I really don't think that's worth it. That's not even the worst part about this. The spell spamming, the crazy damage they do, or the speed at which they attack. Fuck all that. Fuck all of that shit, right? Fuck all that. This is not the worst part about this boss. It's not. And I know you're saying to yourself, well, what could be worse than that? This boss is not optional. It's not. It's simply not optional. You have to beat them to move forwards in the game. So pro tip, do whatever you possibly can to get past this cancer of a fucking boss, okay? All right, I know what you're all thinking right now. He said in the beginning of the video, he's only doing bosses that have achievements attached to them. I know. However, the Elden Beast, I'm aware it doesn't have an achievement attached to it, but if you want to do mental gymnastics, technically you need to beat Elden Beast to get any one of the 3 endings. However, that's fucking dumb too, because technically you would have to beat, like, you have to still beat everybody else before that, but you get achievements for them, so it's fine. I'm just going to use mental gymnastics and say that he has 3 achievements and it's each of the endings. I don't know. In reality, this guy is such a bitch that I just wanted to reserve a spot for him on this list. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, it's not the fact that this boss is hard. Well, to me, it's not that hard. It's not a slam to people that find this boss hard. Everyone has a different skill set. Everyone has their different strengths and weaknesses and whatnot. I just think this boss is easy. You could think this boss is hard and it's perfectly fucking fine. I'm not trying to slam you for thinking this boss is difficult. It's not the fact that this boss is hard. It's the fact that he runs away from you fucking constantly. That's what really gets me upset about this boss. For a god, he sure is a little bitch when it comes to fighting a tarnished. A tarnished. He is the biggest bitch in the entire game. That's really my only gripe about this boss. Everything else about this boss is not terrible. His attacks are okay at best. I mean, he's a giant boss. They're not gonna be super great. They do a lot of damage, again, to be expected of the final fucking boss. However, if he didn't run away fucking constantly, and I didn't have to do a fucking marathon to catch up to him every single time, in every 5 fucking seconds, this boss would be way fucking better than it actually is. And if he was a separate boss, like after fighting Radagon, which in my opinion should have been the final boss, after fighting Radagon, you get a thing where you can go back. Although, I don't know, man. It's fucking weird. I don't really know the lore a whole lot, but I don't think you can exit the Erd Tree after you fucking go into it and beat Radagon. I think that's why you are not allowed to like fight them separately. But still, it's not even that Radagon is really all that difficult either. None of these 2 aren't that hard for me personally. You could be different, of course, but to me, they're not that hard. It's just when you put them back to back and you put one of them like in front of each other, that's a fucking bitch that runs away constantly and does nothing but ranged attacks. I think that's really where we enter shit category for these kind of bosses. Yeah, that's really my only gripe with the Elden Beast. That's it. It's a bitch. It's a god. It is a god. It should be fucking hunting you down. It should be attacking you like fucking. It should have been a crazy, hyper, like just insane boss, dude, that had like that wouldn't let up on you. It should have been Melina, but obviously, you know, not Melina. You get my fucking point. It shouldn't. It was just, in my opinion, the Elden Beast is the biggest letdown of a boss in Elden Ring. I will say this though. I will give it this compliment. Its arena is probably it's probably like the 3rd most beautiful. Actually, you know what? No, fuck that. It is the most beautiful arena in the entire fucking game. And yes, it does beat out Renala, okay? It is fucking gorgeous. And his fucking OST is downright angelic. It's fucking beautiful, man. And when he does that charge attack where he strikes down the sword on the ground and the OST stops, it's fucking, oh my god. That shit is just, it makes me come in my pants every single time. But anyway, I would like to hear your guys' opinion on my list. Just please don't flame me too hard. But anyway, yeah, thank you all so much for watching my video. I hope you all have a great rest of your day or night. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.